The motion to impeach the Honorable Linturi, CS for Agriculture, has been dismissed. The committee voted 7 against 1. 7 in favor of Linturi's innocence. As you can imagine, this has elicited very mixed reaction. There are those who feel like there was some order from above that saved a clearly corrupt person. There are those who are vindicated because they somehow believed Linturi was an innocent person who was just being persecuted by overzealous politicians. Whichever side of the aisle you are, this video is to share with you the reasons why Linturi wasn't impeached. And I would begin by referring you to similar proceedings in the Senate against Kawira Mwangaza and against Oduol of Siaya and against the Deputy Governor Monda of Kisii. The reason as to why I'm referring you back to this is so that we get a picture of the current parliament. There is a very big gap between how this particular parliament is operating versus the parliament of the handshake regime. During that time, parliament was under remote control. You heard me right. They would decide your fate based on orders. It was very interesting watching how they were kicking Kindiki Kithure out from being the deputy speaker. And every speaker would come and say, I have nothing against you. You are actually the biased. But then they still voted to kick him out, meaning they were not independent. They were being controlled. But this particular parliament is so different. They may have their own misgivings. This parliament may have their own weaknesses. But if there is one thing I can tell you for sure, is that we have a parliament that when it comes to discharging their duties, especially the oversight duty, they are really trying. And they have shown level of independence never seen before, especially when it comes to impeachments. The reason as to why I was referring you to these cases of Kawira, Oduol, and Monda is because it is a mixed bowl. Kawira was, and still is, was an independent governor being impeached by an assembly that is controlled by UDA. If it was a matter of political interest, the president would have given the so-called order from above, and so senators confirming the impeachment from the assembly. But no, they looked at the merits. And most of the things that those people brought to Senate were just emotional rants. They were not based on facts, and some of them did not even merit to talk about impeaching somebody, let alone bringing it to the Senate. So Senate sat down, listened to this particular lady in the first instance and second instance, and voted to dismiss the impeachment. Let me repeat, in the grand scheme of things, if the president was playing politics, he would have been very happy to have a vacancy or to have the deputy governor take over with full loyalty to UDA. Let's take the case of Oduol. Oduol, the deputy governor from Siaya. The people of Siaya, the assembly, quickly dismissed Oduol, impeached him, because he was questioning how the governor was misusing the money. How dare he do that? So when Senate came and listened to those grounds of impeachment, they were like, this is a joke. So they saved him. Oduol was not a friend of the president. So there was no interest. Because even if they didn't save Oduol, whoever was going to replace Oduol was still just going to be loyal to Raila. And even as of now, Oduol is not a member of UDA. So there was nothing that the president was going to gain by saving Oduol. Then there is Monda, who was a friend of the president. So if it is a matter of saving, then Monda would have the president would have saved Monda to stick it to the likes of Varati. But no, the president is never involved. He left this to parliamentarians. And parliamentarians have been looking at this thing on a case-by-case basis. So, the first reason why this case against Linturi failed is because the politician who was running this motion confused this parliament with the parliament of yesteryears. Somehow we thought emotions were going to run high and people were going to be guilt-tripped and people were going to be made guilty and make rational decisions. That never happened. The committee looked at what Wamboka was presenting and it was below par. If you didn't watch, there was even a time he was saying, Ukiachwa achika. He even brought issues of Linturi's love life into an impeachment, as if those are grounds for impeachment. So it was purely just some overzealous politician thinking that the best he could do was to get rid of Asias. It was not based on facts. And that's why I'm telling you, that is the reason why Linturi was saved. Some will say it is an order from above. I don't see why there would be an order from above to save Linturi. Because it is not as if the president lacks people to replace Linturi with. If it's a matter of getting rid of Linturi, he would gladly allow him to go through that impeachment route and then replace him. That way, you cannot blame the president. It would be like, you messed up, you were impeached, and there was nothing I could do. I can't interfere. He left these people to have their time. And if the president was to actually interfere, the motion would have not seen the light of the day. That is true. If the president was to interfere, the motion would have not seen the light of the day. So I'm telling you, the president never interfered. He has no interest in interfering, and there's no way he's going to gain by interfering. Only that Wamboka didn't have anything to get rid of Linturi. You cannot just impeach people based on emotions. That, oh, you didn't drink water at the right time, for that reason go home. No. It must be violation of the Constitution. It has to be that. And there was no way Wamboka was going to prove that. I hope this explains things.